हाय गाइस, मेरा नाम है ध्रुव और आप देख रहे हैं डीजी रिदम्स का यूट्यूब चैनल. एंड टुडे वी आर गोना टॉक अबाउट व्हाई ओपन माइक्स इन इंडिया वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम. So I started making music and then I dived into it. I still remember I was 16 and I opened a software. I already knew guitar, but then now I had to make money out of it. I was thinking about monetizing the art form, and I quickly realized that it's very hard to do that. As soon as I realized what I could gauge is like I can do guitar covers and I can make music, and then I discovered open mics. I thought open mics would be something that would actually give me, introduce me to newer people, somewhat, give me connections. Open mics are good for networking. You can't build an audience with. So open mics are not good for audiences. I did a bunch of open mics during my first year, second year, third year, when I was ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. It got me the opportunity to connect with a lot of individuals who were like very serious about the craft and also hobbyists. I got to like network a lot, but got into networking events also. So networking events also made me meet such people. Open mics are a little enhanced versions of networking events because there you perform and then you provide value and then you actually gauge a connection and you can like make it like a lead and then build on it, build on it, build on it. I have a lot of beautiful connections from the industry, people in my hometown, people from the place that I studied my college in, people in Bombay. I have a beautiful relation, a lot of friends, a lot of beautiful professional relations. But what I've realized is in open mics in India are sham. They are open mics are genuinely waste of time. If you're below 18 or around 18, 19, it's good for you to build confidence. But after a certain point in time, it's not, the music scene is not like comedy where you need to test your material. You keep on hearing your songs, you have songwriters, you have other people constantly listening to your music, you have jam pads where you practice. Whereas in comedy, if you draw parallels, you write it. Every audience is a newer audience, but with music, you can achieve perfection because there's a machine working with you, there's a songwriter working with you, there is other musicians working with you. So it's really hard to beat, and the rules for music is pretty much the same. But you can feel it. Once you feel it, there are people who can feel it. And at the end of the day, songwriting is a lot about writing your own experiences and writing stories that you have seen, heard, or experienced. While comedy is more, can be more about observational, can be more about, if we draw parallels to it, open mics in comedy feel more structured because you do a joke in a different way. While music is set, if you have written an original music, your set list can change, but your original music is set. And for your set curated music, you need to do shows and gigs rather than open mics. Open mics, again, tell you, is just a better way to network in the industry. But if you think open mics can build a great audience, it can't. You can use their videos to show to other promoters, but at the end of the day, you need to sell tickets. And open mics make, usually in India, in Delhi, in Bombay, in Ahmedabad, usually poets and usually music studio owners, usually other musicians come rather than audiences. Of course, when you do a show, you need a solid promoter, you need a solid club, you need a solid regular at the club so that they can enjoy your music. You need to build your set list, have a jam pad. But I'll not say open mics are a waste of time for like people who are below 18 or above 18. I'm assuming that you are an experienced musician, you have a set list, you have produced songs, and you have put in money to market your songs. And now if you're going for open mics, one open mic a month is still okay for networking, for giving out value, but ultimately open mics will not provide you the kind of value what your community will provide you, or maybe a small gathering at your place or at a club, or maybe curating a set, because most of your music is curations. Your music, you are not gonna like change your lyrics or composition or your production. Maybe you can build different live sets, maybe you can build a different live performance version of the same song, but majority of the song is gonna be the same. While as in comedy, if you draw parallels to it, in comedy you can feel that the audience changes, the room is changed, and as soon as the room changes, the style of making that joke changes. You can deliver it differently, but whereas in music you can deliver it later or upfront, but the style of delivery doesn't change. So it's a curated menu. Comedy is very live, comedy is a very art form which is very interactive. Music is also very interactive, but you need to curate it more often. So open mics do not give you that space. It just gives you a slot of 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe an hour. So open mics are not that good, and are a complete waste of time. You can use Jampad. Start with, rather than going for, my advice to people who are starting out in the industry, you can start by being an assistant at the stage show, start by arranging their instruments, or start by their back doing their backing vocals or doing their bass, or maybe learning a new instrument, and starting as a replacement. Because I'll tell you a few examples. You know Jeff Bhaskar, Kanye West's producer. He produced a few songs, and then he was out of the scene. So Jeff Bhaskar started as a keyboard replacement for him. Then he got permanent on the job, and then he became the producer for Kanye. So rather than going to open mic, you're going to meet fellow business people, fellow music studio owners, fellow artists, and that can help you in collaborations. But after a certain point in time, that also doesn't happen, and people who usually do open mics are hobbyists. So if you are actually serious about music work, start getting session work, start trying to be helpful, and start trying to play big, good gigs and shows. Open mics can be a waste of time if you are above a certain age threshold, or maybe if you are above a certain experience. If you are like intermediate and above, open mics are not for you. It's good for you to build confidence while you are a child, while you're becoming an adult, becoming a more performing musician, but keep on it will refine your set, but that 15 minutes is not your set. Your set needs to be 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 45 minutes. You need to open for people, and you just need to dive in, because waiting, music if you keep on waiting, is sort of brings you down, because as early as you get into music, it is very helpful. Whereas in comedy, you rarely articulate your thoughts. Whereas music is very entertaining, purely a form of entertainment. If you don't want to quality, mostly it is entertainment. And music can be of different kinds. And I'm just talking about a very commercial pop genre right now. While your goal is to maybe become a singer, and you can work your way up without without taking a lot of pressure, and also getting paid for it, because open mics in India nowadays, you don't get a lot of money out of it, or maybe you don't have to pay to get in. When I was a child, or maybe I was smaller, they used to also pay you a little bit money to perform and to do stuff like that.